Hello, I'm Cappuccino. Man, you know, I've seen. I don't know if Cappuccino is. Let me look up what Cappuccino is from real quick. Cappuccino dog character. Yeah, okay, he is from Hello Kitty. That was my impression, but I didn't want to make a make an assumption. Yeah. I've seen a lot of things about people being afraid of Hello Kitty uh girls, but I don't know. Okay, well, it says his universe is Cinnamon Roll. What is okay, this is the start of stream now. What is the universe of Cinnamon Roll? Characters who are the family and friends of the character Cinnamon Roll. Okay, that it says Cinnamon Roll Universe, but then one of the articles on this wiki starts with Hello Kitty Island. Trending pages. Is that trending pages on this? Or on in the Cappuccino universe, or just for Hello Kitty? Cinnamon Roll. Okay. Cinnamon Roll. I spelt cinnamon wrong. Cinnamon Roll series is a character created by Sanrio on March 6, 2001, with character designs from Yuki Okumura. The main character, Cinnamon Roll, is a white puppy with chubby and pink cheeks, long ears, blue eyes, and a tail that resembles a cinnamon roll. He starred in his own manga series in anime movies and various animated shorts. Cinnamon Roll is a white dog who lives at Cafe Cinnamon. He's friends with Chiffon, Mocha, Espresso, Cappuccino, and Milk. He fell out of the sky when wandering on the clouds and landed near Cafe Cinnamon. Chowder saw him and Miss Anna picked Cinnamon Roll up. Miss Anna then introduced him to his new friends. So to see because right here, when I looked at characters, Cinnamon Roll, voiced by Teiko Kawada, Sunday Muse, The Adventure of Hello Kitty and Friends. Okay, I mean, let's just look up. Is Cinnamon Roll from Hello Kitty? Cinnamon Roll is also one of the racers in Hello Kitty Cruisers. That's not at all what I asked. Okay, they're just from the same publisher. Well, that's about all I think I can learn on a starting screen. All I can learn about Cinnamon Roll. But I was curious. Heck, I mentioned getting acquainted with Iron Mouse's streams, and she's a big Cinnamon Roll fan, so it kind of works out. You get to learn that. So, well, I hope folks are doing okay. We were gonna do Bloodborne tonight, but Ian said brain bad. And I was like, say no more. I completely understand. So instead, we shall be doing comics. I know. It's always a shock and an upset when I, Cahill Comics, work on comics. But sometimes I like to push the envelope and do kind of edgy things that some folks aren't expecting. So, this is going to be one of them. One of those streams where I just really make people ask the big questions. Like, comics question mark? And I don't know the answer to that, but I was thinking, you know, I was thinking every now and then I'll think of bits for stream, just being like, what am I gonna say when I press start stream? Because, you know, I mean, like, maybe that's not something everyone who streams thinks about, but it's something I think about. And I think it's good to come prepared. And one of them I did think of, like, as for like how I'm doing, was like, well, I haven't found a building to jump off of yet. So I guess pretty good. But I don't know how comfortable people are with me making those kinds of jokes. So listen, I'll be fine. I feel like the most unfortunate thing is I've kind of started making stream a sort of paper trail that people can use to track down whether or not I'm doing well. But besides that unfortunate fact, I'm not like, you know, I'm not in any too bad a way. Every now and then I get a little upset at something, but that happens, you know. Heck, it like downpoured for like just a few minutes while I was in work, and it's getting warmer outside. So when I left work to get in my car, it was a nice kind of like muggy. It was like a kind of comforting warm outside. That was a real nice welcome reprieve. So nice weather is always a good way to be like, just free dopamine laying out here on the floor. I also thought of a way I can do a big project, and bring back a character that a lot of my friends seem to like. That will also be less intensive than just doing a second comic on top of on top of Wallop Bros here. I love how I forgot that and I'm doing actively doing the thing. Anyway, I will say, unfortunately, it does mean I took down the Alex's section of the website currently. That'll be back, but when it comes back, it'll probably be different. I probably just won't be doing a straight up comic for Alex like I had once envisioned. I think I can be comfortable saying that, like, I can do comics, you know? It's not me giving up on the traditional form of doing comics altogether. But at the very least, I'm definitely not going to be doing it while I have other life things to attend to, you know? I feel like I can do different kinds of mediums that will be slightly easier to keep up with. So that way I'm not just beating myself over the head with different things. So with that in mind, I think we're going to move forward with a couple different ideas. This new idea I had, heck, it was inspired by something that I mentioned, I think, yesterday. And then furthermore, I don't know why I said furthermore. Oh, furthermore I shared in the Discord actually today. And I'm not like, this isn't like a mystery I'm leaving behind for people to figure out. I'm just not trying to say exactly what my plan is, while also kind of trying to talk about the conclusions that brought me there. So I'm being roundabout about it. But anyway, it's kind of weird, because, like, I don't know if it makes it derivative to try and do this thing that was inspired by basically me watching a YouTube video about this medium, but at the same time that video was very encouraging for a lot of reasons, and that kind of stuff will really get me going in terms of, you know, making stuff. So we're going for it. We're trying it out. Oh my good, wait a minute. You know, this is such a specific problem I had before, but before, when you would try to when you opened up the menu for #1 sub-gifter in mobile Twitch, I was not able to close it before. I would just have to reload. I would just have to back out and to a different page and then come back after. Like, basically reload the page. But it's been fixed on this new version. You know, maybe new mobile Twitch ain't so bad. See, what did I say? I'm pushing the envelope. I'm saying things no one else would think to say. Like that Twitch did their app okay. So, that being said, and I mean, you can already see in here, I took a small break from working on Wallop Bros for just a bit, because I was really trying to draw well in this section. And I think I'll only ever, hopefully, improve in trying to make this comic strip look better. But with that being said, I took a break because I was really like, I want to make this look good, and that's taken a lot of effort. So take a short. That was 2 days ago, and I started drawing other things, and then I got my idea for the thing we're gonna do. So, because I wanna build worlds and entertain people, but that can take a lot of effort. So that looks worse categorically. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. Oh. Redo. Oh, nope. Undo. Okay, I think what would probably be better is just undoing this. And making just this whole forearm section a bit bigger. That might be what I'm kind of missing. What's setting off my artist senses to be like, hey, dumbass, the drawing looks bad. Sometimes that's just anxiety, but sometimes you also need to listen to it, you know? Listen, Bob Ross, happy little trees, for sure, for sure, for sure. But sometimes you're not happy with the way a piece looks, and and I typically find what helps make any drawing good is the ability to kind of listen to that voice critically and wisely, and understand when you're supposed to be like, you know what, I do need to actually go back to this and redo it. So it's a-okay. I'm just gonna check. There's no one in chat, so I'm just gonna be like, oh, you know what? Granted, this is only because I have, because of the way my display is set up, but I can't actually see chat as I open up other apps on my phone. So that's nice. That's neato. But yeah. I don't know. I've just been kind of stressed about life. You know how it is. My knee-jerk reaction is I'd like to be left alone, please. But whether or not that's healthy or feasible even is yet to be determined. I legitimately had to clear my throat. I wasn't just being like awkward. But anyway, I am thinking therapy sounds like a better idea day by day. And I think I've talked about this enough, but scheduling, affording it might be another thing. We'll see, you know? Also, I kind of love looking, because I've drawn the musket here. Really, like, realistic proportions, but these soldiers have have cartoonish sausage fingers. So okay. I had a book that taught me how to draw Disney characters as a kid, and like, you know, especially going back, older Rubber Hose Disney characters just look like all other Rubber Hose Disney characters. So that kind of helps inform me as to how I should be drawing these different toonish creatures. That being said, and definitely I try to add my own elements, try to make them slightly more realistic in different ways, as well as the fact that, I mean, heck, we're going to run into like people at some point throughout the story, so not all of them are going to look like some kind of recognizable Disney style. And I refuse to let Disney come after me for a style they haven't used in forever, and B, because they're starting to enter the public domain. You hold no power here. Cahill makes the line good. Challenge impossible. Yeah, I was. So I think I mentioned Bloodborne canceled tonight, and I was a-okay with that. Complete understand. I was kind of like, what should I do then? Should I try and play a game that'll be okay for like a small one-off, or should I do art? And doing the comic, which I've already sketched out, was kind of the midpoint, because low on energy a bit to BH, but you know, I've already sketched this out, so no harm in continuing it here. I think that looks pretty good, actually. Little dog ear. Helps out. Makes him look more like a dog. I feel like that's my goal in half of adding my own elements to old Rubber Hose styles, is trying to make it look more like the animal it's typically meant to look like. So oh my goodness, I'm gonna resist drinking caffeine. How long I'm able to hold out on that will be an interesting experiment, but honestly, I would kind of like some. I'd like a bit of a sweet treat that helps me beat my sleep. Yeah. What was I thinking of? You know, it's curious. I've looked up before how long it would take caffeine to leave a typical body, and I typically try to space mine out in slightly around the time it would take for the last cup to head on out. But I don't know, like, if you were truly to try and be like, okay, you can now drink caffeine because all effects, not just the energy bit, but all effects of the last cup of caffeine have left your body. Like, how long would that take? Would it just be like, you can have one cup ever? So time it wisely. Listen, like I said, I'm still always a little proud of myself that for caffeine, I go to a fruit juice and not several other things, because I'm not like, I'm so much better. But like, the big thing that comes to mind is 5 Hour Energy, where it's like drink 3 and perish. If I drink a whole case of my V8s, I'll probably not feel great, but I won't just explode. 5 Hour Energy seems to have the nasty side effects of human combustion. So I feel like I can be happy that I'm not going down that route with that kind of energy drink. But you know, like, whether how I feel about whatever method you use to pep yourself up is almost kind of irrelevant, because who am I to talk when I barely have any energy of my own to speak of? So at that point, it's just like, do you? I'd only be concerned about, health and stuff, trying to ensure longevity. But if you're like, no, I think it's fine, I like it, and I will sign off on any consequences that result from it, then, like, fair enough. More power to you. We're all adults here. You know what you're doing, probably. I feel like that's the only time I can't be like, well, wait, hold on. Like, if someone was drinking a 5 Hour Energy, and I say anything about it on being unhealthy, and they're like, it's not unhealthy at all, actually, I'd be like, now hold on a minute. Now wait just a second. It's one thing for you to be like, yeah, I know it's not the best for you, but I like it as a pick-me-up. That's one thing. It's another thing to be like, no adverse health effects. Because I feel like any caffeine comes with a small health risk, as long as, you're doing small doses in your typical beverages. But, A, that depends on the kind of person you are, and your body on a typical given day. And I don't know where else I was going with that. I know I just started thinking about fucking Panera Bread just destroying people because they were lying about the amount of caffeine they had in their lemonade. It was a lot of it, by the way. So, I think I said on stream before about, like, not just copy and pasting, at least backgrounds and shit. So people might be like, why copy and paste dog? Because, I mean, the whole point is that they are kind of cut and paste soldiers, The company values uniformity and appearance, and as such, I am using a digital technique to help reinforce them as I don't want to say cut from the same cloth, pushed into the same mold, maybe. Mold's gross. Wouldn't want to be diving into it, but when you're making minimum wage as a foot soldier, yes, that's fine. You're probably not making minimum wage. That would be a bad way to that would be a bad way to raise morale for the troops. Imagine your foes become more powerful than you simply because they have offered your soldiers anything above the bare minimum. That would be embarrassing. I don't care what anyone thinks. It, undeniably an embarrassing turn of events. Imagine losing an armed conflict because your enemy offers dental. The troops go to, you know, to squash some civil unrest. Turns out they join in because the mob offers better benefits than their boss does. Oops. Capitalism at its finest. Hey, Raiden. Give me a scratch off. Oh, Lord, you're not gonna scratch it off here, are you? 3 ice cream cones. What do I hit? A SpongeBob popsicle. Capitalism at its finest. You know what they say, Jack. A lottery ticket a day keeps the debt away. You know, this is gonna be kind of gross. How do people keep their feet, like, clean? You know? My feet are pretty clean, all things considered. But they, like, their feet. I feel like some people probably have methods of being like, I make sure to scrub all. This is the second time I've talked about feet on a stream this week. Maybe maybe Twitch isn't putting my streams out there because I've talked about feet too much. Lord, that would be funny. I wonder, you know, because talking shop for a minute. I know I do that a lot, but I think the business of streaming is interesting, which is why I talk it more than anything. Do you think there is anyone at a Twitch.com who like kind of takes a peek at different streams to try and see, like, oh yeah, maybe we need to bump this guy up, see if they fit the advertiser friendly kind of stuff? Or do you think, because I always kind of think more of it as like metadata shit, you know, something about my stream and how it's being conducted / advertised / tagged makes it unappealing to Twitch algorithm. But could it simply be that someone at Twitch struck me down unto the Olympians towards Perseus? Lord. More, I think we need to bring that back full force. I mean, I guess we kind of do already have that, referencing like myth and shit in our talk. Because I was going to say we need to bring, because, like, you know, you go back to some older writings or transcripts of speech, and people would compare it. Incredibly toxic. Pig, you don't even get to talk. Our schedules mean that you go to sleep roughly when I, like, am getting into stream. So, but I was gonna say, I think we need to start bringing, like, classical myth and stuff back into a common speech and analogy. But then I was like, isn't that... There's the argument that a lot of pop culture these days is just what our kind of myth is. And how is that toxic of me? It's toxic of you because you should sacrifice real life force in your sleep in order to catch my streams. It's toxic of you because even if you need to sleep, you could give Gummy the computer and he could watch my streams. And I think that would be funny. Anyway, Okay, Pig, if you want to do that, start paying me living wage for streaming. I'll quit my job tomorrow. Give me the first 3 months. Surely people don't go full streamer after one successful month of making living wage, right? I wonder what, like, the most savvy streamer has kind of put out there, done to, and be like, okay, I will now switch to streaming full time. But anyway, I was gonna say, with that classical literature and mythology in speech, my favorite bit is when Angelica Schuyler mailed her sister about her husband, Alexander Hamilton, who was notably very fucking hot in his youth, saying that if she was as nice as the Romans, she would share him. Basically just being like, can I fuck your husband? Which doesn't, like, and before you're like, and to say that's like the least scandalous thing that happened with Alexander Hamilton is an understatement. Listen, I know everyone's sick of it because we had the whole musical phase back in 2015, 7 years ago. That feels bad, you know. Like, I'm not saying Hamilton's new, but that's actually the first one in a while I've been like, damn. I don't like the idea that it's old. But what was I thinking of? But yeah, I feel like I feel like, unfortunately, Pig's gotten that wrath before. Well, where he'll post something feeling old, and I'll be like, guys, it doesn't matter anymore. We can't keep doing this, okay? We gotta wait like 20 years. We gotta wait. Oh, we have to wait until babies being born now are our age before we can start doing that again. Because there was a global pandemic that shut down the world for 3 to 4 years. Like, if something is so old it's still in the single digits, I'm not gonna care anymore. If Breath of the Wild is 9 years old, I'm not gonna care, because half of that was spent in a quarantine where nothing happened. Nintendo had a sign on all of their presentations well after the pandemic, still talking about how it's going to slow down the productions of games. Okay? They had that years after people stopped caring about COVID. If something is not like 12 to 15 plus years old, then it's not it's not even gonna register to me. If it's not a literal picture of a baby I personally knew as a baby, and then a picture of that same baby now middle-aged with a spouse, then I'm not gonna care. It doesn't count anymore. Like, keep doing those posts and jokes, I guess, but I'm just saying, don't expect me to give them a wild reaction. They've really lost their sting. People globally have lost years of their life. Time means nothing. It's like there was a pandemic and I was in college when it happened. Time could not have lost meaning in a more powerful way in modern society. You know what I mean? Like, already college kind of instills that whatever mentality when it comes to schedule and time. And then pandemic. So it's just like, wow. Time may be a force of nature, but it's also a concept we've largely instituted the measurement systems for. So those measurement systems have just lost all power over me. That is another thing, right? That's something I think about. I think there will be people who try to get trippy by being like, time is human concept. Time is human construct. And that's not to those people I say, oh yeah, go back to the past and stop something from happening. You know? Like, the kind of phrasing they use makes it sound like the very idea of time is a kind of courtesy we grant the universe. Oh my goodness. Stealth with a sub. You're queuing for a rousing game of Pokemon Unite. Don't kill anyone, Stealth. I beg you. I hope you enjoy those emotes. But yeah. No, it's weird, because I do like schedules. But I feel like schedules are there. I use schedules because my inner clock is so beyond fucked. It has stopped functioning so completely that if I don't have schedule for certain things, then it would just become a mess. And I would just be living in constant terror of the future. Even more so than currently. But yeah. Now listen. Years, days, whatever. Yes, absolutely. Human thing. I get you. But that doesn't mean time is a purely human thing. Until we find a quantum animal. Until we find a species of fungus that exists at different points in time. Randomly. Not continuously, but just different points across time. Randomly. Where it's younger one day, older the next, then the age between those one, you know, like just skipping around, then I'm gonna say that time is actually a force of nature. Hi, Meat. Hope you're doing well. I mean, listen, if we find out aliens who legitimately can just, like, time slip and like fucking inhabit multiple moments in time whenever they feel like it, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, time's a human concept. I'm sorry. But until then, no, our measurement of time is a human concept. Time is probably very real. This is so fucking niche, you know? Complaining about people thinking about time. Well, not even complaining. I'm just saying, I feel like some people like to say that time is a human thing, when I don't think that's the case at all. I'm gonna put it on this. New layer real quick. New layer, because I'm probably gonna want to erase part of this leg in about a minute, so. But yeah, I hope everyone's been having a good day. Like I said, didn't find a building to jump from today, so... The funny thing is, chat, who wasn't here when I said that before, I said that in the context of, like, a bit I thought about doing, but didn't do, because I didn't know if people would be comfortable with me saying it. But then I did it legitimately. I've explained the joke. Please laugh. That was Jeb Bush, right? Jeb Bush is the guy who the politician who I only remember because he begged people to clap at a rally. That's him, yes. And before you're like, well, actually, he's kind of an asshole. No. Leave it. It's better. If you don't like him, I'd argue it's better if I only remember him as the guy who very sadly asked for applause. Changing that would be for his favor. Man. I feel like that I've talked before about the idea of me putting up a sign where it's just like, yes, I know all celebrities are assholes, or something along the like. And I feel like that's kind of what I mean by that. It's not to say people shouldn't call famous people out on their bullshit. Rather, it's that for the purposes of this joke, we're gonna shift focus a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not trying to say don't ever talk about this. It's saying that in this specific moment, I'm trying to make them humorous through other means. Lord, since we're on this subject already, I do want to say, I've said many times, my favorite movies of all time are the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. What I haven't said before is that I know there's lots of stuff about Johnny Depp. Lots of this, that, and the other thing about him. I see him as unrelated to those movies. You know? No matter what the status is on him, for me it's like, yeah, I wouldn't, like, the acting in those movies is great, but I would not, it's not like I'm saying I love these movies because of this one actor, whether it would be him or someone else. I would say it's more so, I think part of why I love Pirates of the Caribbean is because it kind of almost feels like its whole is greater than the sum of its parts, you know? I get feelings from watching Pirates, not just nostalgia, but something I even felt back as a wee babu watching those films. That I would say isn't necessarily something intended or created by one person, but rather is just because of my perception of those movies and how they ended up coming together in the end. That makes me love them so much. So with that in mind, that's why I'm just like, it's one of those things where it's like I am currently separating art from artist, you know? Which, by the way, talking about a film trilogy that has so many moving parts and great things about it, and then talking about one actor of them and being like the artist is being I would say overly generous. To that, it doesn't matter. Heck, if James Earl Jones came out as an asshole tomorrow, I wouldn't be like, well, Star Wars, you gotta separate the art from the artist. Heck, I wouldn't even say that about George Lucas. I think the ensuing years shows that, if anything, you can't solely credit him with the success of the original trilogy. So, you know, of all mediums, movies take a lot of people. So being like one person, can't ignore it again. Did you redeem something, Greg? I don't think so. Did you put something in Discord? Because I wicked don't have Discord open. I won't get it. Or it'd be like that, yeah. And it's and I'm saying this about movies specifically because I think it is different for books. And if you don't already know who I'm talking about when I say that with books, then I envy you. I envy you. And how little space that takes in your mind. I said, hey, Greg. On my team, but bro carried. We do love a slow bro. You're good. Anyway, but yeah. I do think it's like a lot of things in life. People like to be like one answer or the other, or it's like, no, it can be different. For example, I'm a big fan of cosmic horror, and I can't deny the fact that H.P. Lovecraft... Oh my goodness. You did not have to do that, Greg. I do appreciate the support, though. Thank you. You know, there's a few people here. I'd like to talk about this real quick. I'll talk about it again next month, but just since I recognized that it was a problem today, I like to make sure I cover my bases. If y'all remember, we funded my first Throne gift, which was a microphone, which I was hoping would make me sound old-timey. Here's the thing, I had the wrong address put into Throne. So, whether or not we ever get that microphone now is up in the air. I did reach out to the gifter privately and was like, hey, would you like me to give you the money back? Yeah. And they were like, no, even if you can't get the microphone, don't give me the money back. And that's fine. That being said, I have failed you. Unequivocally. This is why I was looking for buildings today, by the way. I feel like I have failed one end of my bargain of the bargain in terms of like streamer and chat who supports me. So with that being said, we are going to just not do monthly goals next stream. I'm still going to do a big monthly goals stream in the month following. So next month is April, right? So in June we'll still do a big special stream as though we hit those goals, but I'm not gonna have it up. I fucked up. I should not just continue to ask for support as though nothing were to happen. I would like to rectify it in some way. And that is one of a few. No, so next month is currently, this is April. So since we've already met the monthly goal of this month, I'm going to cancel it for May while still doing a big thank you stream in June. So basically, what that means is don't worry about donating, all of May. I would say don't worry about donating normally, but people are very generous. So, but I'm going to just automatically fulfill any incentive you would normally have for donating. And heck, if anything, maybe I could even like gift subs, or something at the start of May, because like plenty of that money comes back to me, and I can just give some people, give like 3 or 4 subs on the house to some people, so they don't have to worry about resubbing. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, try to make it up to y'all. I apologize about that. I feel bad because that was one of the bigger ones. I'm not putting it back on the wish list. That would be that would be stupid and awful of me, especially since I need to go track it down and see if I can get it. You know. I'll just look at other fun things to do on stream. Don't you worry about it. But yeah, I wanted to address that at some point. I figured I might address it at the start of May. The start of May, since that's when the actual physical part of the apology would start going into effect. But then I was like, that might be too long. So I was like, if I get a chance sooner, I'll say something. Sleeping is great. No. Let meat cook. They're on to something. Sleeping, pretty fucking good. Hey, if any of you ever feel bad about yourselves, do me a favor and look at the clock. This will be true in the Eastern time zone currently, but do me a favor and look at the clock. If it's past 9 p.m. where you are, as you're feeling bad about yourself, don't trust your brain. Go to sleep. There's a meme of Sonic saying, don't trust anything your brain says after 9 o'clock, and it's right. Also, thank you for more bits, Greg. You got bits tier. Wait, Greg, is that... What bit tier is that? Greg, you don't... Greg, did you get 1 gold doubloon? Greg, please tell me you got 1 gold doubloon. That would be very funny. For so many reasons. I don't know what my other bit tiers are. Alright, these are my bit motes. That's the thing now. But yeah, what's a gold doubloon? It's a type of coin from like the 1600s that would often be on in the places pirates would take gold from. I don't know if it was ever a currency. You know what? Fuck it. What are doubloons? I could look up, are doubloons a currency? But TikTok doubloons. No one care. What the what are gold doubloons? I've not been doubloon. 2 escudo gold coin. Okay, so it was 4 old-timey Spanish dollars. If I went back a long time ago and I wanted like $2 or $4 in old-timey Spain, they would give me a gold doubloon. I'm great. Distraction from what? That you might have gold doubloon? I can't believe Greg snuck into my secret pirate cave at night. Opened up my large oakened chest and took from it 1 gold doubloon. And then put in 10 more gold doubloons. That's the part I'm confused about, by the way. I get taking the gold doubloons. The fact he left more in there. Real confusing. Also, I do want to address Stealth. My good friend Stealth in chat did say he was like, I feel like sleeping is a waste, which I know he said that for how he feels, not that sleeping is actually a waste. Stealth, would it convince you to feel differently? Would it help start to rewire your brain if I was like, that's probably just capitalism speaking? Like, I get it. And honestly, sometimes I feel it's like I want to be doing something just for the sake of doing like art and shit without needing a capitalistic sense, incentive. But there is no doubt that capitalism's got its roots in us. So, I think Alphonse has a doubloon. Probably not. I don't know when the sovereign nation of Spain stopped using real gold in its currency, or changed its currency enough that the doubloon was not the preeminent, dollar. But I don't think Alphonse has one. It's not like a Canadian nickel in America. Speaking about all this, what was the thing? I was gonna ask about just general online shipping outside of like Amazon, but let me just ask straight up. Anyone in chat have experience with like eBay and shit? Like, do y'all know? Is that somewhat kind of reliable? I know it's kind of buyer to buyer on that one. By its very nature, it's people posting stuff to. Nope. Canadian nickels are real? They are. As in no experience. Okay, well that's good. That's better than just it's bad. Just because, I don't know if I've mentioned on stream, but I'm dog sitting this week. And I'm probably going to get money. And most of it will be going into my savings. But some of it I wanted to use to get some... Some of it I want to use to get some GameCube games, if I can find them at a good price. And it looks like I can, but they're on eBay. So, that's why I'm like, better be careful. Now, would that be as bad as someone in chat getting me something and it getting lost in shipping? No. But it would still be a failure of some kind on my part. If I was like, a nice man with an original in-box copy of Super Mario Brothers for the NES and all of its collectibles for $20, I will give you $20, and then he just takes my $20 and leaves. Not an Iceman's, Greg. We're not playing a Snow Miser tonight, I'm sorry to say. But yeah. What was the thing, I put out a thing just the other day about Dice Man. I wouldn't mind one of those. I could definitely play D&D more. About if anyone's played Sonic Riders before, because I've seen videos of it, and I do think it looks neat. Like, regardless of its performance or difficulty, mascot racing that isn't just Mario Kart gets bonus points for me. And I was like, oh yeah, that's mostly stuck on the GameCube. Like a lot of things, that was like the first generation where they started putting things on multiple platforms. But it has an original GameCube port. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll pick that up. But then I was like, oh yeah, Sonic Heroes. Like, fucking Sega has not cared to put Sonic Heroes on fucking anything. And like, I've heard it's okay, Maybe it's not the best game ever, but much like Sonic Riders, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I want to at least give it a shot. And also, what else? What else was I saying? I forget. Yeah, I just want to give it a shot. I've never played an Olympics game, Mario, Sonic, Greg. And the fact they can't... I feel like sometimes companies these days are too quick to give up on things. I don't think they stopped making Mario and Sonic at the Olympics because of COVID. But it was a weird coincidence, to say the least. But yeah. And I believe I've already said on stream or something to the like that I do want the Sonic Adventure games on GameCube, because from what I've heard, regardless of your opinion on the quality of those games, I've heard the port of those games from generation to generation has declined, and as such, getting the first / second, depending on how you look at it, versions of those games would probably be for the best in terms of quality. What else was I thinking of? Dang it. Dang it! Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know the history behind it, but I know that, like, so the Dreamcast was Sega's, I think, last console that failed, and they were like, okay, we'll just start putting it on other consoles. And then, and that was where the original Sonic Adventure games came out on. But I don't, the GameCubes weren't ports necessarily, right? Because it was like the director's cut in battle. It had subtitles. It inferred that you had other stuff in it. So listen, I know it was like the 90s and it was Sega. And maybe putting director's cut under Sonic Adventure meant nothing, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, assume that it was more than just a straight up port of that game, which means you could consider it the first generation of that game's existence, since Adventure has been ported to like Steam and Xbox and what have you. I think I've said before, I forget on stream or not, but I think, well, no, because I've played Adventure, like snippets of it on stream once or twice, and part of me kind of likes that it kept certain high-speed elements of the 2D Sonics while also having more traditional 3D platforming segments. Does Kay have a fluffy bunny tail? Yes, but he keeps it under his pants because he wants to look tough. Heroes PC port, I want it. So Stealth, if I get and stream Sonic Heroes on my GameCube, are you gonna be like, I must be there, please? Because that's the, so, like, one of the things you could levy against Sonic Adventure, both 1 and 2, is that the actual Sonic part is a fraction of the game. Far more extensive in the Sonic Adventure series is the fishing minigame. and the bad audio design of Eggman and Tails mechs. Which, you know, I feel like I want to play those games on the GameCube because I want to see if I can give credit to the shooter sections. Both of those games have large shooter sections in them, and I know that's silly, but I don't want to just write it off for 2012 YouTube laughs. I don't want to I don't want to be a real Aaron Hansen about. No, I don't care. I don't, you know, like I want to give it a shot. I would be like, it's kind of cool. You can play as an Eggman robot and shoot a gun. But again, you could argue it's just like this is supposed to be a Sonic game, and you play for him at best 20% of the time. But conversely, Sonic Heroes has the same gameplay while keeping different campaigns. You know what I mean? Sonic Hero puts forth the kind of power archetypes they'd use in a couple different games, where you would have strong characters, fast characters, and flying characters. So, much like how in Adventure 2 you had Shadow to be a second Sonic campaign, now you have Sonic, Shadow, Espio, and Amy. Which also makes it like one of the only games you can play as Amy in. So, credit there too. So yeah, even if the level design's a little jank and certain parts don't work as well, I'm still wanting to give it a chance. It's no listen, it's not Sonic 06, and I own Sonic 06. So even if it was that bad, as long as it's not ridiculously expensive, I'll still give it a shot. Own a piece of Sonic history. Honestly, as far as Sonic's 3D era goes, the only games I'm mostly interested in are Colors, which I have, not Forces, Frontiers, and then the GameCube era. So yeah, having the GameCube trilogy for my GameCube that I managed to get would be nice. So that's part of what has me pumped about possibly getting Heroes. Whether it's a good game is secondary at this point. But still, you seemed excited. Have you played Heroes and do you like it? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Do you want to put our Minecraft beds next to each other? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Haha, unless... It was not Heroes of the Storm? Is that a MOBA? I recognize that name, Greg. But I wouldn't be able to tell you why I recognize that game. Even if I had a gun to my head. But yeah. Distraction. Also, hey, I looked up Frolf. We might set a donation goal to get me Frolf on GameCube, because I want Frolf. And some of the listings were like $120. So it's, I'm not doing it soon, but at some point maybe we do a wait. Okay, wait, this is actually kind of a fun idea. This won't be anytime soon, but hear me out. What if we do a kind of subathon or something, and we're streaming Kirby Golf, and the goal of the big stream is to get Frog Golf. That'd be pretty fun. Again, not soon. I'm not gonna ask that of you guys. But I don't think that's a bad idea. I've had worse. I've had worse ideas. Y'all know this. Y'all know I have bad ideas often. I feel like that's not one of the worst ones. Yes, you have. You know what, Greg? For someone who just apologized about being Cahill Nord, you got very sassy about it. What dream? Greg, there's been a couple. All of them could have been bad ideas. That you could be referencing any number of drinking challenges. I love the story that tells, where it's like where Greg is trying to reference a bad idea I've had, but it could apply to any number of other bad things I've done. That I need, like, wait, no, more clarification. And you changed it very quickly. Yeah, that'll happen. I do kind of want to. I want to go through my YouTube VODs and see if it's worth making a playlist of those kinds of streams, the ones where I've done gimmicks. Like Sonic 06 would be on there because it's like a one-off gimmick stream. And then there was the one time I did a bunch of fruit challenges. That would be a gimmick stream. Maybe the Bean Pools of Mario Kart. Yada yada yada. More bad ideas. More bad ideas. Listen, I just hope everyone was having fun if you did attend those streams. Even if I had to change my own rules to survive. Hell, I did have fun, but when you started frothing at the mouth on the floor, I got a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I've been less concerned about your health. That would, Greg, that would infer that calling Sprinkles Jimmy is okay in the first place. And it's not. If you think it is, stop it. I say that, but honestly, it's cute when people call Sprinkles Jimmys. So. Now, would I take offense to someone calling a light rain jimmying? We might have to try it out, but I'm not gonna give a definitive answer either way right now. Look up a bomb. I tend to copy and paste these because maybe sure I could do a bunch of horizontal lines, but in a digital format, I don't think there's actually really much of a reason to do it, you know? I get this same kind of look for doing, you know, for being careful with an eraser. You know what not an eraser, a ruler in traditional art. So with that in mind, I don't see why I need to try and manually do it over and over again. Like I said before, it's like there are definitely some things where it's like, for sure, I shouldn't just copy and paste that. I should actually be redrawing each part. But straight lines aren't necessarily one of the things. I can copy and paste a straight line. No one will tell my mom if I did. And if you do, stop it. Stop. Don't tell. You're fine. No, Greg. My mom's gonna get so upset. I use the copy and paste tool in Clip Studio Paint. Don't tell her. I didn't even hit you that hard. Stop it. Lord. I feel like anyone who's grown up with a sibling can relate to that kind of thing. I'm not, you know, me and my sister, we're pretty different, so I don't know what kind of sibling experience is universal. But whenever someone is like, no, don't tell mom, don't tell mom, it's like, oh yeah, that happened to me a lot too. Okay, that looks pretty good. Honestly, sometimes I feel bad when I end up spending so long on single, like, part of a comic or a larger piece, but making this, like, crowd of soldiers and everything, I think was pretty rewarding. So I'm pretty happy with it, all things considered. What? I'm feeling good about myself after accomplishing a rewarding goal? No! Impossible! You shouldn't have this kind of power! I will not let you destroy my world! I also have a sister. Oh my goodness. Greg, tell your sister I say hi. That's not an innuendo, I just like to greet people. Oh fuck. I forget how I drew the ambassador. Lieutenant Larry. As I will put him down officially. That's not the comic. That's not the comic he appears in. There it is. I mean, technically he appears in two comics now. He also appears in this one. Look at him get mad. Because he's a jackass. No matter how you feel about the the boys, who I will remind you are 11 and 12 respectively. No matter how you feel about them pulling out a portrait of a jackass and pretending it's the lieutenant, I feel like we can agree sending several armed guards after them because of it is an overreaction. You know, like, yeah, sometimes kids are pretty rude. I wouldn't call the cops on them. I'm not a narc. Make him a little taller than his soldiers. There we go. Oh. This is something I always appreciate in digital art, because I know and I've seen artists who will, like, either do something first on, like, traceable paper, so that way they can put it over or under the finished product and, like, trace over it there, or copy and, or like physically copy and paste stuff where they cut something out and paste it somewhere else. I'm glad to just be able to do that much cleaner on a digital format. You know, it's one of those things where I don't think something's necessarily lost, like, unless you are purposefully trying to make a collage. I don't think something's lost if you're using copy and paste and what have you in order to draw consistently in a digital space. Look at all these layers. Look at all those chickens.
Hee-haw.
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 I'm still streaming as well, but just wanted to go bed, and I've learned that I don't enjoy streaming by myself.
I definitely enjoy company. Now, is that because I'm an incredibly lonely creature normally, and the welcome embrace of someone who I feel comfortable around is such a stark change that it's almost addictive? Who can say? But I'm glad you're here. But I love you. Ian, would you call the cops on children?
No.
Okay, good. Correct answer.
The child myself.
There you go. Now, what if the child took out a loaded gun?
I'd pull out a larger loaded gun.
Mmm. I like this RP we've got going. Magenta is inaudible. How about he audit my nuts?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does need to be boosted. You want uppies?
Uppies.
Uppies?
Uppies?
Up peas?
Up.
Puppies?
Uppies?
Nuts, please?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that didn't work. What if I did...
Uppies.
Uh-huh.
Blood sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking earlier, how would I explain cosmic horror to my Disney-loving mom?
Carefully.
And I careful. I don't think there's any version of it she's gonna be like real into. Good night, Juice. I love you.
Juice that hunk shoe.
No, I think Juice is far more of a shmee. Ian, have you ever gotten into cosmic horror or no?
Not really, I don't think.
You don't like tentacle stuff?
Not really.
We know Juice does, but they're not here to defend
absolutely.
themselves, so.
In fact, what the fuck? Why can't I get... Why aren't you working?
Because I'm not getting paid, so. How about you pay me before I work? I'm not your wage slave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my own man. I stand on my 2 feet.
Oh, that one started working. Okay. So then if I go back to this one.
And my 7 toes.
And your what?
My 7 toes. Ian, can I ask you something?
Mm-hmm.
Feel free not to answer.
Okay.
Do your feet smell from time to time?
Yeah, I believe everyone's does.
Okay. Listen, I don't go around smelling people's feet. I don't know why you think I do.
Oh, Jesus.
Also, are you still playing The Sims?
Uh-huh.
How's Regina doing?
She's doing wonderful.
Also, that GIF I sent in your Discord, was that from like a remake of Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm so sorry. Ian, is Mean Girls the one where the main character moves from Africa?
Yes.
Okay. So I've seen the start of it.
It's a good movie. Sir, I was told that you had cats.
I don't. If a rabbit.
Not you, fool.
Rabbits are great, though. Rabbit, you know, it's so weird. Because rabbits are prey animals, but I feel like the baseline rabbit will be more affectionate than many cats. I'm not saying As in, like, you have 10 cats and none of them are affectionate. I'm saying that there are many individual cats in the world that won't be affectionate to you when a rabbit will be. Simply give them a banana.
A banana.
I might have talked about this before, but it is the most adorable thing. When I wake up, and Oswald has noticed that I waked up, and he just starts running in a circle and honking. He is the cutest. He is the cutest little guy. Simply banana. I saw a video of a kid on the floor eating a banana, and he had a rabbit that was trying to take it. And I was like, oh, this one's a rascal.
No, I need to see them. Let me observe the cats, please.
I thought you were talking about your Sims woohooing.
No, but I will in fact fuck this man in the elevator.
Sims patch nose.
What the fuck? The cats are outside. Why are the cats outside? They should not be here.
This is an inappropriate place for cats.
Why are they outside?
You know, that's another reason. Because I have liked cats more over the years, but I feel like I couldn't be a cat person, because I definitely couldn't be an outdoor cats person. Do you know how much anxiety I would be under letting my animal just go outside?
One of my cats used to be an outdoor cat.
And how'd that go?
Every day was horrifying.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially because one day she just stopped coming home, so we have no idea what happened to her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not to be rude, but I hope she just found someone else, because ironically, that's always the better situation. Or maybe she found a pack of wildcats. She was like, fuck yeah.
I actually hope that she did die, just because she was very old. Like, we've had her since we lived in South Carolina.
It got sad. But I don't know what I was expecting when I started talking about outdoor cats, because, like, that's literally what I'm afraid of, so... I was like, I'm afraid of something, and Ian said, you're afraid of this? And I went, yes!
Well, no, it's because, like I said, she was very old. Like, we had her back when we were in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know you lived in South Carolina.
Yep, until I was... Yeah. Until I was 7. Just before I turned 7. I was 6.5 when we moved.
Oh. So were you 6 or were you 7?
I was 6 when we moved.
Hmm.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Okay, but which one were you, 6 or 7? Answer now.
I just told you.
No. Slower.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was awkward.
But, yeah, so we've had her since before then. Like, we didn't, like, adopt her and then immediately move, so, you know, we've had her for a long time. So I do kind of hope that she just, like, found somewhere peaceful and restful to, you know, pass on. Since that is a thing that cats will do, is they'll just isolate themselves just before, so that, they don't, like, make their owners sad.
Aww. I hope she found some kind of, I don't know, pet cemetery. That sounds like a nice place.
Oh my god. I am being vulnerable. This is what you do to me?
I'm sorry. No, I feel very bad about this, honestly.
And she became an outdoor cat solely off of, like, on her own, by her choice.
Okay.
Because she used to be, like, on our lanai, like a screened-in lanai.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she clawed, just at some point, like, multiple years later, after she became a lanai cat, she just, like, clawed out the screen and just did that.
To walk.
So imagine the absolute horror
Fully.
of the very first time that happened. We thought someone accidentally let her out and that she was just fully missing and would never come back, and we all started freaking out.
I feel like, I thought you were gonna say, like, because of, like, she became an outdoor cat solely because of, like, a family member wanting that to be the case. And with that, like, you know, assuming that many outdoor cats more or less just kind of stop coming back home and everything at some point, and that's more the norm than anything else. Um, if it was one family member insisting that would be the case, I would just like I would be wildly upset at them for if my beloved pet start coming home.
No, yeah, just out of just out of nowhere, just did that,
Yeah.
and we all freaked the fuck out. And then we kept repairing it, and she kept breaking out.
I mean, if anything, I feel like it's kind of like the best case scenario for an outdoor cat. You know what I mean? Like, I think you probably did the best it could have been done. Like, she was like, I want to be outdoors. And you're like, okay, I guess. Then, you know, and then, like, it was her choice. She liked going outside. And then she probably just went away somewhere. So, with that in mind, like that's about as good as you could have done, as a human with a cat. So at least take some comfort in knowing that.
Yeah, it's been a few years since it happened.
How many?
I don't know.
You're not 7 now, are you?
No. As far as I'm aware.
Legally, no. Have you ever known someone born on a leap year? On February 29th?
No.
Would you like to?
Sure.
I have one in my basement.
Oh.
What was I thinking of? That was a weird thing for me to say. So, I would like to say I want to get a book. I learned about it from the eye patch wolf video I was talking about the other day. I have the tab open because getting it and its second volume shipped from Italy will be $50, which honestly not bad for 2 books shipped from Italy. But it's called Vermis, and it's a dark fantasy book that is that is a game guide to a game that doesn't exist.
Yes.
And it's got some really cool art in it. It has the dubious friend who says things like, "It is here. I am me. I found it." Repeats endlessly. And he did, obviously, that Patch Wolf did kind of. I hope he's, as far as I can tell, on my stream, you should be about the same level as I'm hearing you, so they should be able to hear you.
Good is the key word.
I mean, I can send you a picture, though, that when you said "should" is the key word, it was at the same place in both, and I heard that, and in fact, I quoted it back to you. Fucking, I can turn Ian into the dominant audio factor of this stream. I didn't think that's where stream was going, especially since he can't Bloodborne. But if you had if after you were like my brain, and if you were like no Bloodborne tonight, I wouldn't have been like, and then I will have to turn Magenta up as loud as possible. Will Magenta be there? I don't know, but also say something now.
Hello.
Chat, he should be as loud as can be. If anything, maybe turn you down just a little bit, so you're not touching that yellow.
Touch.
Stop touching the color yellow. Oh, I just saw that you said still inaudible, because no, when you said that, I turned you way up, but now I've turned you even further up.
Yeah.
So any hard of hearing folks, A, should just plug their hearing aid straight into their drums, and then everyone else should be able to hear you. Did you know that they stopped teaching about Helen Keller because she became a socialist?
Oh.
Yeah. She learned how to speak and read and write in spite of being blind and deaf. And everyone's like, that's amazing. And then she was just like, I think we should have government subsidized programs. And were like, we're gonna stop talking about you. I learned this the other day.
On second thought.
They were like, look at this blind and deaf girl. She's learned to speak, and she said, I want universal health care. They'll be like, don't listen to her though. Helen Keller, social, musicals, socialist quote. The country is governed for the richest, for the corporations, the bankers, the land speculators, and for the exploits of the labor. The majority of mankind are working people. So long as their fair demands, the ownership and control of their livelihoods are set at naught, we can have neither men's rights nor women's rights. The majority of mankind is ground down by industrial oppression in order that the small remnant may live in ease. Thank you, Helen Keller.
Thank you, Helen Keller. Chat, say thank you, Helen Keller.
Chat, thank Helen Keller now. She said eat the rich. She won't hear me. Damn it, gamer! That's the funniest fucking thing anyone said on stream. That you said it instead of me.
Gamer and meat, can you hear me? I need someone that isn't Cahill.
I want to do a bit about that, but yes, I can hear. Okay, good.
Excellent.
Egg salad. Wait, is Wario World on GameCube? Like the one Wario World, yes. GameCube. Okay, well that's one we have to get. In that game, he says egg salad.
Also, chat, in my Sims game that I am currently playing on stream as well, I have a cat named Cinnamon. What should I name the other cat?
Roll.
No, it has to be another spice.
Cappuccino. Also, as far as I know, Paula, Wario World. Wario World was released 20 years ago. Yep, this is the one I'm thinking of. GameCube.
Salt? I shall not name it Salt.
The disc alone is $60, so that's not bad. I can just get the disc. But yeah, I'd love to get Wario World. I didn't realize that. It's going on the list. Ian, get the list.
List.
Ian, I said get the list, not get the lisp. Now I can't say S words, which is ironic because I just said lisp.
No.
That meat. Meat. Thank you, Melange. That's okay. Good reference, Craig. I like where your head's at.
What did meat?
He clipped the when he said everyone say thank you, Helen Keller, and Gamer responded with she won't hear me. So, which is objectively the funniest thing. Just in the whole stream. Oh my goodness. You know, it's so weird because I peg myself and then I peg myself as a clown.
Peg?
Yeah, no, myself, just only myself. But I peg myself as a clown. But I feel like in a vacuum, I'm more like spitting out. I'm waxing philosophical and just thinking out loud, which isn't necessarily clown behavior. It's just.
Where's Mary over time? No, they do not speak to me.
Name her after the fucking Dune spice, like Greg said. I'm with him on this one. Do you not want your cat to be named after a psychoactive drug fermented in the bowel of worms?
I'll be honest, no, I do not.
that brings humanity to a higher plane of existence.
I will say Greg was kind of in the closer range when he suggested mint.
Mint's good.
Because I kind of want it to be a spice, but also a color. Similar to cinnamon.
You're you're really narrowing the option. I feel like you should just say it now.
But I don't know what those colors are.
Ginger? Ginger's good.
Ginger. No, because the last name is George. And I
Yeah,
don't want it to
Ginger
look
George.
alliteration.
No, but that. Ian, alliteration is my whole shit. Why would you do this to me?
Nutmeg. I'm gonna keep it as nutmeg then, because that's what Juice also suggested.
Also technically psychoactive.
That's one does.
I'm gonna go snort nutmeg now. I'll be back in a bit, chat.
Well, chat, you heard the man.
Ian, what? I'm not Ian. Chat, what would you do?
Wow.
I mean, you can answer this. What would you do if I had a face cam on?
Been included.
If I had a face cam on for a stream, I went off of camera for 5 minutes, and when I came back, just white powder, just all over the bottom of my nose and down.
Well, for starters, how would they see you?
I just said with a face cam on. Turmeric, saffron, tea. There's an Auntie Donna bit. Auntie Donna is an Australian comedy group where it's part of their 19. No, they still are.
Nope.
It's part of their 1999 series where they do like a bunch of comedy in an office dressed up like the 90s, which is just in suits most of the time. But then there's an old phone every here and there. But it starts and they get done a meeting. And one of them is just like, dang it, man, I'm so tired. How am I even going to get to the next meeting on time? And then he'd be like, how about some of this? And he brings out a little baggie of what's meant to be cocaine. And of course they just start doing cocaine. But eventually, the entire table is covered in mountains and mountains of cocaine. And they just all have nosebleeds and one of their teeth starts falling out. And it just keeps escalating. And then a lunch lady comes in, and she says it's confectioner sugar, which is funny, but also, why were their teeth falling out if it was confectioners? Why did they get a nosebleed?
Sometimes it's just be like that.
Like a good neighbor, allspice is there. Hey.
Hi.
Man. I'm having trouble pleasing my spouse in bed right now. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Threesome.
I mean, I guess.
They kind of already did that joke with Jake from State Farm, didn't they, though? Because it's like the guy's calling and she thinks it's a prostitute, but it's a guy working a minimum wage job at an insurance company. And he does not have time for this woman's drama. Ma'am, if you can't fuck your husband, that's your problem. I am here to sell insurance and not get paid much for doing it. Oregano. Is my chat just fully focused on spices now?
Good.
Hey, can I just... Ian, what's the shit they put on pizzas? Both the
That
little...
is so incredibly vague.
Little green flecks, and then also big green leaves.
Basil?
Maybe. Basil is a lovely spice name. Yeah. They need to stop fucking doing that. I don't like it. I don't like the feel. I don't like leaves on my pizza. And then every time I complain about it, people are like, fucking, it doesn't taste like anything. I'm like, if it doesn't taste like anything, why is it even on the pizza in the first place? Think. Think for a minute. What you just said made it worse. I don't like it in the slightest. Think, Mark. Think. Parmesan. That's not a spice.
Parmesan?
Yeah.
Not Parmesan, but Parmesan.
Exactly. Isn't Parmesan the... I can't check Unis Honest. The channel doesn't exist anymore, but isn't that the cheese you can make in like 30 minutes? You just squeeze some milk. And bam. I'd make... Chat, should we make some Parmesan cheese one night? When I have my own apartment? That's gonna take a while. I would do a cooking video. I would do a cooking stream if I get my own place. Heck, chat, if I get my own place and stream helps me out with it, and we'll do some cooking videos. I'll show you how to make a grilled cheese. Should you squeeze all my milk Parmesan? I love Paula's response to Ian's responses, which is spices are being overruled, might as well branch out.
No, I think I'm gonna go with nutmeg.
That's me to my family most of the time. It's like, you have shot down every answer. I'm just gonna bullshit you now. I'm done with this.
Nutmeg.
I forget where I start. Was it when my family used to make me play soccer, where people would shut out nutmeg, or was that at recess? Which is when you shoot a ball between someone's legs. I forget where I first heard it. I know it's a thing, but I know it's a thing because I know about it. And if I didn't know about it, it wouldn't be a thing.
Right.
Nutmeggin. Nutmegatron.
Nutmegara.
I've thought, if/when I get my next rabbit, I want to name him something like that. And I feel like it should be like... No, it should be like Ultron or Galact. I feel like Galactus would be a good one. This is my rabbit, Galactus. I love Oswald, but I shouldn't name... First off, there's not a lot of Disney rabbits. And second off, I shouldn't just keep naming them Disney characters. Ultron is a good alternative. Ultron or Galactus. Unicron. Well, that's the problem. I'm not a big Transformers fan. I haven't found a good series to get into it with. Michael Bay, Wicket doesn't count. So with that in mind, I don't want to do Megatron or Unicron. I don't know those characters. These are my bunnies. Oswald and Superfly. Yeah, you know what? I'll just start naming my... The more rabbits I get, the more I'll name them after fucking JoJo stands. This is my rabbits. Oswald and Sex Pistols.
So I'll be right back.
The world is our burrito. These are my rabbits. Oswald and Star Platinum. It would be funny if I got a rabbit named Star Platinum and he just does that thing where they flick their feet a lot. You can find videos of that, chat. I want to say that, but I feel like I'll say that and then someone will look it up and it'll be like, fungus infection in the brain. Because every time I try to look up a cute little thing Oswald does, it results to a condition, but like it always comes back to a condition bunnies get where they start tilting their head constantly, and that's because they get a deep ear infection. And I'm like, he doesn't have that. He's not doing these things, he's doing these things. But Google just really wants me to think that my bunny has a fungal infection. It's just, I like them to stop trying to convince me of that. Genuinely, the less fucking Google tries to convince me my rabbit is dying, the better.
What?
So I was talking about bunny behaviors, right?
Okay.
And a lot of times when I'll look up bunny behaviors, the thing that comes up isn't the thing Oswald is actually doing. There's a thing rabbits do where they just start tilting their heads and they always keep them tilted. It's because they have like a really bad deep ear infection. Like it's fucking with their brains. And it's like, your bunny, it's dying now. I'm like, it's not. That's not what he's doing. You're lying to me. So, that's what I'm saying. I'd like that to stop being some of the top results for different bunny idiosyncrasies. I'm just saying. I hope you can respect me in this time, Ian.
Um,
Respect me!
uh,
Ian, if you don't respect me, you'll explode into juice. And I don't mean our friend. I mean a delicious fruit-flavored juice.
delicious.
Respect the pouch. Respect it! Ian and Cahill will be right back on Disney Channel. Dun, 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 dun. Respect the pouch. Respect it. Hello? Distraction. Is that your new thing, Greg? Not just cheering one bit, but cheering a few bits and being like, distraction! Dime! Ian, do you think you could throw a coin hard enough to hurt someone?
No.
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 Damn. Why don't you think that?
Because I am gay.
I don't know if you heard, but last night me and Juice were talking about you. And
Oh?
I was saying you talk the most shit, but when we met and I went to fake punch you, you did quiver. You did quiver and cower. So.
Yeah. Because I'm used to being hit.
No. That's the worst response, but also, still. Ian will not back it up. He prefers to just talk shit online.
It's true. Because I never actually mean it.
That is also true. That's something I had to ask you on your stream. Like, Ian, are we, as the queen say, reading each other?
And I'm like, yeah, what?
Listen, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't confused about queens reading each other when I first was exposed to drag queen culture. I just thought they all hated each other. And to be fair, some of them do. But more often than not, they're being a... That's the thing, right? Because me and Ian both like us some Trixie Mattel and Katya Zomoldovovich.
Close enough, I guess.
Exactly. That's what I was going for. I was going for close enough. And like they consider themselves best friends, but they're also insult each other constantly. And like there was one time where like Trixie was like, yeah, we didn't get along on season 7, the season of Drag Race they met on, and it just shows a clip of Trixie insulting Katya, and I'm like, how is that different from now? Tell me now.
Not that. Ah, fuck, where is it?
No.
Is this the one I'm looking at?
Greg, if you want to go with the actual lore, because Kay was originally a Sonic OC, which I changed to be more rubber hosey. He still has a bit of that Cream the Rabbit in him. Which, and by the way, yes, and in case you're confused, that was a donation goal. I was not into Sonic enough as a kid to make an OC. I'm not saying I wouldn't have. I'm not trying to be like, no, I wouldn't. No, I probably would have. But it wasn't candid, is what I was saying. That's not the timeline we're living in. And back then, the lore was that he got the eye patch in the Sonic War against Eggman. And he still has the eye underneath it. He just wears it to look cool. And I would say that's probably still the case now that he's a pirate. He still has the eye. He just wears it to look cool. You ever do that, Ian? You ever just try to wear something to make yourself look cooler?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Lesbians.
Yeah. Ian with his mean dog privileges, and it's just 2 lesbians he's befriended. Okay, you know how there's a stereotype in Hollywood and kind of real life, where it's like girls will have gay friends? Does that go for lesbians too?
Lesbians will have what, straight guy friends?
I don't know. I mean, mine does, so. But I was saying, I mean, I guess that's putting everyone into too many boxes. Just befriend who you like. And I must kill Eggman. I think people. Yeah, you're right. I'm just asking about social stereotypes as dictated by Hollywood, which, to be fair, lies a lot of the time. Fucking. Not only,
Mm-hmm.
especially after recent documentaries,
Yeah.
should we just not be having child stars on live action shows for many reasons? We shouldn't have them because fucking you don't stand around high school talking about stuff. You're going to class. I never stood in the halls at high school because there was no fucking time. I don't know what these shows are on about, but they're insane. This is insane behavior by an insane man. What are you trying to portray here? This isn't real life in the slightest. And also, like, this was something else they talked about on that show, me and Ian watched, where it's like, what are you gonna do if you can't have child actors? And the joke was just like have them reference off stream. No, first off, I don't care about movies because movies are like a one-time thing. They're not every week. But furthermore, in TV shows, animate them. Just have animated shows for children. You know, the thing everyone likes to pretend animation is only good for children. That would make a healthier work environment and create more jobs for animators, honestly. So, Ian, I think the world is stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
Do you want to form the Akatsuki?
What?
Were they trying to end the world or no?
Yes.
They were?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Were they trying to end the Naruto equivalent to the world?
I know what you meant.
Okay. Or I'd be like, what about that one who's ended in the way Ultron was? No, that scared me as a kid. When I got when I was first reading comics and I got Age of Ultron, I was like, I didn't see Terminator 2 as a kid, so that was my first like, oh no, robot apocalypse, bad, scary. And now I'm laughing at AI because it can't draw fingers. I was thinking the other day, and I shared this in a Discord, about like, it's like in no way is AI a long-term solution in any format. Because one, when you have an AI, it will just eventually start pulling out porn. It's just gonna start making porn. You can't stop it. Also, thank you, Kingfisher. But furthermore, like, when you don't need to hire an artist anymore, do you know what you do, Ian?
You fuck them.
That, but you also stop paying them. When you don't need the AI anymore, you still have the big machine in your building. And, like, you don't need it, but it's there. And I guess you could try and sell it, but no matter any solution will cost you money. So, and I thought about this the other day because there was an AI company that went bankrupt. It's like, we are not making money. Pay the artist indeed, Greg. Not even me. Other better artists. Also, I don't think... If I didn't say the name of that book that I want to get, and maybe y'all should too, it was Vermis. And also, another fake video game book that he mentioned was Apple Quest. And I haven't gotten that yet, but you can get the PDF on itch.io, apparently. That's what I heard. I haven't looked into it. But it's cool because it is a fake video game, but it's also a video game centered around building your party. Like a kind of Pokemon meets Final Fantasy sort of deal. Which means that, like, even though the game isn't real, you can still build a party by looking at the monster art. So, I'd recommend checking it out if you want to support artists. But yeah. I'm just saying. Having computers replace art as the first go-to is dumb. Ian, what would something you want machines to replace? Say now.
I need a moment to think about it.
No.
No.
I'll say this. We could, like, do our best to try and automate the entire farming process. That might be nice. And granted, farmers need jobs too, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind being just like, well, I don't have to pick 1,000 radishes by hand. So that helps.
That's what you think.
Are they still going to end up needing to pick 1,000 radishes by hand?
They will, yes.
Damn it.
The radishes demand picking.
Honestly, I said that, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, people like growing plants, so maybe it's just their passion and they don't want a machine to do it. And you know what? That's fair. So at that point, it's like, I don't know, office work, CEO positions, honestly. You know who's probably better at doing finances? A computer. So, heck, I'm already using my calculator. It's in my pocket all the time. My teacher said it wouldn't be, but look at it here, next to my desk. Man, fucking... There was a time, I remember this, and I remember this because I watched a video about a similar topic, where, like, in, like, 4th grade, a teacher gave me detention because they thought I said hell, and I didn't. I used to not curse at all, period.
I love that the word was hell, though.
Exactly. Like, they thought I said... Like, it was, like, a very minor, tertiary curse word that they thought I said in relation to being upset with class. And they gave me detention over it, despite how much I was like, I absolutely, I will admit I am upset. I did not say that word. And they were like, no, you did. And I'd be like, I'll burn the school down. You watch me. And I remember that to this day. I hope the teacher feels bad. I hope she lost her coupon to Barnes & Noble, and she can't get the cool new book she wants.
No, her coupon!
Okay. my evil Shadow the Hedgehog nemesis, Cahill.
Oh my god.
I am a verdant green hill, he's a fiery inferno. He thinks AI should replace artists. Also voiced by Keanu Reeves. Also, I've seen way too many people be like, I need to hear Keanu first. If there is one celebrity casting I don't think is bad, it's that one. Also, have a good night, meat. Like, fucking Keanu by himself already kind of sounds like every Shadow the Hedgehog voice ever, where he's just kind of breathy and gravelly. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Like, and that was kind of my Snake voice, but yeah, Snake also kind of sounds like Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog was meant to be edgy. So the dude who starred in John Wick and also Solid Snake, yeah, he can probably do an
edge.
He was probably a good pick for Shadow.
Gopi says the line, nice cock.
Nice cock.
The all-important line.
Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald? Ian, are you shot? I really should, maybe I should up my need to get Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Because we need to see the original scene where Maria gets shot in the chest on the space station. So that way when we all go see the movie, we remember what it's like and can compare it. Maria!
Sometimes Sims content is just having your sim constantly reading on the couch.
I fucking wish.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's a escapist fantasy. I also wish I could just do that. So You know what I want to do? I want to cut
I
off
don't,
this
actually.
man's legs,
Uh-huh.
and then I want to enlarge them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my name is Cahill, and my life is pretty crazy.
Also in my stream, if anyone ever watches my VODs, Cahill is drawing. He is not currently dismembering people.
You don't know that.
I do know that. I'm currently watching you. Through your window.
Oh! Hi, Magenta!
Wow!
Ian, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Would you rather go to Tokyo or California Disneyland first? Not Tokyo Disneyland, just Tokyo in general.
I would say Tokyo, solely because I very much would like to finally, like, go out of country, do some sort of fun little travel.
I really need to get a full-time job first, but that would probably be the cheaper trip, honestly. We would just need to research a good hotel to stay at. That's the only thing I really care about, you know? Is like, hey, I'm across the Pacific Ocean. I'd like to know that the place we're staying isn't a shit show. I was looking at it not too long ago. I was like, how much would it be to go to Tokyo? Just go to Tokyo? And they're like, this much. And I'd be like, that's not as much as I thought. Maybe I should go to Tokyo. We could also go to... Is Oda from Osaka? I forget. What's the town with the straw hat statues? Ed Sheeran Oda. Hometown. Kumamoto. So, you could... If we wanted to not just do the big touristy city, we could go there and see the statues and see what sites there are around that town, which would also probably be pretty neat. There's a little anime to do and then other sites to see. That's the thing, honestly, and I've talked about this before. If I went to Japan, I would legitimately just want to go into like you'll see them in some shows, like the more rural areas, like up in the mountains and shit like that. Because I love those places here, and they look pretty over in Japan, so I want to see them. Ian, do you like nature?
Yes.
Do you want to go?
Shocking, I know, but...
What? I wonder how much. Maybe we should look into that instead. Like instead of going to just straight up Tokyo, it's like no, away in the mountains of Japan. Is that different than the mountains of America? I guess we'll see. We'll see when we get there. I wonder if there's a good, like, kind of naturey spot to stay at, and then it's like train I was about to say just train to Japan. Train to Tokyo.
Sometimes you just gotta get a train to Japan.
You just have to get
just all of Japan.
You know, Lord, I saw a thing, apparently, I don't know if it's real, but apparently there was a rumor going around about NASA putting a high speed rail on the moon for infrastructure shit, and everyone's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. We still don't want to we don't have one down here. The idea that the moon would get a decent high-speed rail system on the entire nation of America is very funny.
Hee
Hee. Our government doesn't care about our infrastructure. Okay. You know what? I think we've done some pretty good progress today. I'm probably going to call it a night. Because it's past 9 o'clock and I can't trust my brain. Ian, don't listen to your...
Regina was just sent an entire bathtub.
Like, just a whole... Like a bathtub?
Yeah, just a whole bathtub.
Damn. I am... Honestly, another reason to end stream would be because now I'm thinking about, like, what's a campground in Japan cost? And is there one with commuter access to Tokyo? And I'm like, I can't keep talking about that.
I think you can.
I know. Does that sound like a good trip to you, Ian? One where
It
you see more
does.
nature, and then like one day
Yeah.
it's just like shopping trip to Tokyo.
Yeah. That sounds
Fucking,
like fun.
I don't know how prevalent the Yakuza is in modern day Japan, but maybe it would be nicer to be in the
Not
rural
enough.
part. Maybe it would be nice to be in the more rural areas, so that way it's like, well, we're not gonna run into crime. Are we gonna run into spooky Japanese ghosts like in your typical Steam indie horror game? Yeah, probably. But that's a part of what you pay for with the trip, so.
Leisure day is here.
Does salt work? Does also, what is this? Why is this what is this? Half of my screen looks darker. Maybe I do need to go to sleep. I think my eyes are failing. No, that's white. So at the very least, when I save the image, it'll be white. But, purified salt. I was about to say, I was like, does that work across borders? If I go to Japan with a Ghostbusters backpack, does that work on Japanese ghosts, or is that just for American ghosts? Do different cultural, like myths about ghosts affect how you fight ghosts in different regions, or are they all universal truths? Or are different cultures right about different things? So like, salt is kind of like a universal thing. But then like Germany has a myth about ghosts, and that one's right, and like destroying the body is wrong. That's a thing you do. Find the corpse, burn it.
Sure.
Ian, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Ever burn a corpse?
Ever what?
Burn a corpse?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, to be clear, are we talking about like for the purposes of getting rid of a body, or more like a cremation kind of thing?
I'm not allowed to speak on that without my lawyer present.
Interesting. Let's see. Who should we raid? Shadow Mage is playing Sea of Thieves. I can do that. That's coming to PS5 soon. I need to pick it up. Man, I'm good. It's a good thing I'm dog sitting and getting paid for it, because there are games arriving that I need to get. So that's where I'd say half that money is going to. Listen, don't blame me. Games are fun and I stream them, so you know. I have an excuse, kind of. There was a cool thing. Maybe it'd be cool if I picked this up before I do any trips to Japan, and then while I'm there, I'm like, I grab this. Because I did see a thing, if you know, certain consoles will be like region locked and shit. So that like a game from Japan won't work on an American DS. But I saw one that allows you to plug in like a Japanese SNES cartridge into an American SNES, and I was like, that's a great idea. Except I'm not just gonna get one for no reason. Thank you for the distraction, Craig. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And you know what? Ian will be at stream tomorrow because we're gonna be playing Bloodborne. Unless we don't, in which case that's understandable, and I'm not gonna. And he is under no contract. Anyway, I'll see y'all then. Bye.